In this forecast, extreme flooding is currently ongoing in North Texas. Over 14 inches of rain has fallen in some areas. And the first hurricane of the season could be right around the corner. All of that and more is coming right up. Hey everybody, welcome back to another max velocity weather forecast, and today what we're going over is that extreme flash flooding that is currently ongoing in North Texas, along with the tropics, and as long as with that severe weather potential for today. All those are going to be in this forecast for you. Let's begin with that extreme flash flooding currently in North Texas. There has been almost a foot of rain in some spots across the Metroplex. There are several flash flood warnings to go along with that. A lot of areas have seen anywhere from 5 inches of rain all the way up to potentially as much as 13 inches of rain in just the last 12 hours. And crazy enough, the DFW airport has officially seen its third wettest month on record. And this is the first day, or really the first day, that we've seen any more than a quarter of an inch of rain at DFW airport. So this is an insane event that's currently ongoing in the Metroplex. Here's a look at the live radar as of right now. Kind of over the last couple of hours, you can see a lot of heavy rain in the Metroplex. That is all to blame to this meso low that is back off to the west that is moving very slowly. Once this little low pressure system back out here into areas like Mineral Wells moves through the Metroplex, most of this region will dry out, but there is still several hours until that happens. It likely will be until 3 or 4 o'clock until that actually happens. So we're going to continue to see a lot of heavy rain here across the Metroplex over the next several hours. And as I mentioned before, we've seen an extreme amount of flash flooding. In some areas in the Metroplex have seen almost 14 inches of rain just east of Dallas, Texas, a very populated area. They have almost seen 14 inches of rain. It is insane what we've seen in this area so far. Back up north of Fort Worth, some areas near 9 inches of rain now. That's just west of Bedford. You can also see back up in Justin, Texas, and Denton County, a little bit less, but still 5 to 6 inches. That is enough to make some flash flooding occur. Back into Dallas, again, we've seen a lot of areas, widespread at least, see half a foot of rain, but some areas, again, have exceeded a foot of rain now. So it's been incredible how much rain's fallen in just the last 12 hours. You can see back even down into eastern DFW, some areas as well around the 5 to 6 inch mark, some areas again up to 10 inches as well. All right, here's a look at the excessive rainfall expected over the next 24 hours across North Texas as well as Louisiana. There is a moderate threat. It goes back from Denton County into Tarrant County. It goes all the way back through northwestern Louisiana and southwestern Arkansas. So those are the main areas included in a moderate threat. There is a slight risk that goes down into Austin, Texas, as well as Waco, and a little marginal threat outside of that. It extends all the way back toward Pensacola, Florida, and it goes all the way back through the southwest. So that's what's included right now in terms of the excessive rainfall. All right, let's hop into the future radar for the rest of today. This is for North Texas, and we'll start to hop down into the severe weather potential as well. Eventually going to this afternoon, the rain will start to shift down to the south and east as that meso low starts to move off to the south and east as well. So you can see by 4 to 5 o'clock, most of that storm activity is finally exiting the Metroplex. But again, additional rainfall totals for Fort Worth, for example, could see an additional 2 to 6 inches. So that's definitely a concern over the next short-term few hours, but obviously beyond that, we should start to clear out across the Metroplex. Tomorrow, some isolated showers, but nothing compared to what we've seen so far today. And obviously, we do not need more flooding, especially for the Metroplex. Here's a look at the timing down in southeast Texas. There is a marginal threat for severe weather. An isolated tornado or two may occur down this direction. Storms will move through areas like College Station, Huntsville, as well as areas like San Antonio. Through the late afternoon hours into the early evening, eventually closer to 10 to 11 o'clock, those storms moving down to the south and east. Most of them will fizzle out before ever getting to the coastline, but more shower and storm activity will fill in tomorrow morning to add on to the rain that we've already seen. Here's a look at the threat for severe weather, by the way. It does go all the way through south and as well as eastern Texas into Louisiana. Again, main concern, damaging winds, isolated tornado threat will also exist. Any tornadoes are going to be brief and weak. Here's a look at the flash flooding concerns for tomorrow. There is a moderate threat again, and that would include Louisiana. That goes into northern Louisiana and western Mississippi. Additional rainfall totals between 3 to maybe 7 inches of rain could occur. We could also see some isolated amounts higher than that, sort of what we've seen in DFW today, but probably to a little bit lesser of an extent. Here's a look at the rainfall totals currently being estimated for tomorrow. Most of the HR model is showing that we'll see between 3 to 7 inches in these areas. There are a couple of locations that may see isolated amounts as high as 10 to 12 inches, so don't rule that out. It might be kind of similar to what we've seen in the Metroplex already today. All right, there is a chance in the tropics that we see a little system develop. As of right now, this is a system that is a 20% chance of developing over the next 5 days. This tropical wave has been in development for a few days now, but it just has not organized or really strengthened. But it may strengthen as it heads towards the Lesser Antilles, so this will definitely be a system to watch. But the European model is showing this could actually become a hurricane if it goes towards the United States. Now, there is a lot of time in between now and then. Here's your low pressure system by about Sunday, so the 28th of this month. As of right now, it is indicative that it'll be close to the Lesser Antilles by then. Eventually, heading into early next week, it seems like this could actually strengthen as it gets closer to the Bahamas, and eventually even closer to the United States. This might become a tropical storm, or maybe even worse than that. Now, as of right now, there's a lot of time in between now and then, but this will be a system to watch as it approaches areas like the Lesser Antilles. Depending on how much shear we have, and as well as the upper level winds, could very well depict what this storm does as it gets closer to the land. So definitely be a system to watch. We are getting very close to the peak of hurricane season, so we very well could see our first hurricane of the season with this system. We'll have to watch it very closely. Again, just be prepared. No need to worry as of right now. All right, make sure to hit the like button down below. Subscribe if you're not already. This forecast is brought to you by Platinum Contracting and All Dense Repair.